Happy Wednesday, everyone. My name is meteorologist Heather Cannon. It's time for our daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and American Contractor Show. Thank you guys, as always, for sponsoring our videos. So let's get right into our weather headlines. Storm system Frank has moved off the coast, and for today and tomorrow, we do have a few marginal chances of severe weather, so we'll talk about exactly where those areas are. And then getting into tomorrow, we will have a dry line set up, but we do have just a marginal chance of severe weather with that, and I'll show you the areas that we'll be watching for that. And then we are once again watching the end of the week and into the weekend for the potential of our next named system, which would be a Gabriella. So before we get into our forecast, we do have a few events coming up. The first one is the C3 Lunch and Learn, which will be held right here at the Hill Palace on May 10th. It's going to be the third floor of the building. So we'll have free lunch and there'll be plenty of information. I believe it's mostly going to be commercial based. And then we also have another event coming up on May 13th here in Oklahoma City at the River Oaks Golf Course. This is called the Contractor Blueprint Seminar. So more information can be seen here and I believe on our Facebook pages. So make sure you check those out. So here are current conditions across the lower 48. For the most of us, we are enjoying a lot of quietness, a lot of sunshine. You can see no clouds here in the southeast, some light clouds here in the southern plains. This is pretty much what's left of Frank. You can see the cold front has almost completely moved off the coast. Part of the system is stalled out in Florida. We're not really expecting anything though in terms of severe weather with that system. We are now going to be focusing here in the southern part of the U.S. We're going to be watching parts of the Texas Panhandle as well as parts of western Oklahoma as we get into later on this afternoon and evening. Right now though, it is quiet with just a few clouds around. So here are current temperatures. You can see where that trailing, well, it's a stationary front, it's stalled out right now. Where that is located, it's 83 in Miami and only 70 in Atlanta. Colder though to the north, where we also have another cold front set up, 41 in Minneapolis. A bit warmer though as you go into the southern part of the U.S. ahead of that particular cold front. It's 70 in Dallas and 71 in Kansas City. So here is today's hail forecast. And this is sponsored by C3 Group. Just a small area here from parts of southwestern Kansas and into the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma. Again, it's going to be a very marginal chance if a few storms can get going. We have a cap in place and the instability isn't the best either. But if a storm or two could develop, it can get up to $half size hail. So Garden City, Kansas to Amarillo, those are the best areas for you guys for today in terms of severe hail. And then for severe wind, same areas from Garden City, Kansas, all the way down to Amarillo. All the way to basically southwestern Texas. Up to 60-mile-per-hour gusts are possible for any storms that can develop this afternoon and evening. So this is for, I believe, tomorrow now. Yeah, that is the 28th. Getting into tomorrow morning. I think I got my things all mixed up here. Basically, I'm showing the NAM for tomorrow because there's going to be another cap in place, and the HRRR wasn't really showing anything, so I'm showing the NAM instead. So getting into tomorrow morning, a few showers will be around, and then you can see as we get into tomorrow evening, a few storms could fire east of Lubbock, and then maybe parts of southwestern Oklahoma if once again that cap can break. Other than that, not a whole lot is expected for tomorrow either in terms of severe weather. But here we go with tomorrow's hail forecast, sponsored by Merlin Law Group. Thank you guys, as always, for sponsoring these videos. So here's the area that we'll be watching tomorrow. Now, if a storm could develop, we could get up to golf ball size hail from Abilene northward to Woodward, and maybe up to half-dollar size hail eastward to Wichita. Again, there's going to be another cap in place tomorrow, so we could get a storm or two to form, or there could be absolutely nothing. So just keep that in mind for tomorrow in terms of storm development. And then same areas for the winds from Wichita to Woodward, all the way down to Abilene, Texas, up to 60 mile per hour. 60 mile per hour gusts are possible for any storm that can break through the cap and develop and move on to the east. So here is our future jet stream. After today and getting through tomorrow, we could get into a pretty active pattern. So let's take a look at what's going on. So this is Frank. He's moved off the coast. We are dealing with ridging now in the middle of the country, getting all that heat starting to build up. Pleasant conditions as we get into the rest of today. You can see though, here's this little blip here, here in the Rockies. That's going to be moving on to the east. If we can get a storm or two to develop today, it's going to be because of that. So that will be moving on to the east. And then as we get into tomorrow, that little blip is still there. There's going to be that dry line set up for tomorrow. It's going to be pretty capped, but a storm or two is possible. But then as we get, looking into tomorrow, this bigger trough here, this could become a Gabriella. As we get into Friday, this trough will start to move off to the east, and you can see we've been talking the last few days, it's going to become a bit negatively tilted, which is what we like to see when we're looking for the chances for more robust severe weather as we get more instability and heat to wrap around that system. So this is Friday at noon, and then we get into Saturday. It continues to still have that bit of a negative tilt. That system will move on to the east, St. Louis. You could get in on the action with this system on Saturday. And then as we get from Saturday and into Sunday, you can see after this system, we have another one behind it starting to set up. So like I said, it looks like it's going to become a bit more active finally, as it's been overall a pretty quiet season so far. So this is at 6 a.m. Monday. That is another system that we need to watch. And then we have another trough in the northwest. So here are our future dew points. So we do have some moisture in place for today. It's not the best. We've seen it better. But as we get later on into tonight, we start to see a bit more moisture coming on in there. Again, we're still dealing with lack of instability. The moisture is not the best. It's still a bit capped. So the storm coverage doesn't look like it's going to be very good. But if a storm or two could develop, it's going to be right here in the Texas Panhandle, moving on into western Oklahoma. But then as we get into tomorrow at noon, a bit more moisture is going to start streaming on in, and you can see here's that dry line here at 7 p.m. tomorrow. We could see a storm or two if the cap can break right here in western Oklahoma and parts of northern Texas. And
Microphone shut off. I'm just going to replace the batteries real quick. We'll be right back with it.
my way out of this. This and this. I think we're good. Are we back on? Yay! Okay, so like I was saying, this is at so much fun here. This is at Friday at 7 p.m. This is the next potentially major system that we'll be watching. It's another instance of if the cap can break. Hopefully it does, because this is a nice setup. You can see the dry line here in western Oklahoma, and just to the west of Oklahoma City. Low pressure is going to be on the Kansas-Nebraska border. Plenty of moisture. There's going to be plenty of instability in place. So we're going to be basically watching Omaha all the way down to maybe as far south as Dallas. Cross your fingers if you're in the Dallas area. And then as we get into Saturday, this system will move on to the east. You can see that backwards comma here. The low pressure will be here in parts of Iowa. St. Louis, you can get in on the action on Saturday. And we gotta watch to see for future, as we're still a few days out, to see if there's going to be more development to the south, or if it's just going to be here in Missouri and Illinois. And then we get into Sunday. That system will start to move off to the east, and you can see that the moisture will start to build back up, and that will be, I believe, the next system. So it's going to be resetting, and we gotta watch parts of Texas for Sunday, and then Monday we could see more activity here in parts of Oklahoma. So this is what that looks like. The look ahead forecast sponsored by American Contractor Show. Thank you guys for sponsoring. So this is Friday. Again, we could see the potential for severe weather for most of Nebraska eastward to Omaha here, all the way down to most of Kansas. So Wichita, you can get on the action. Kansas City, all the way down to Oklahoma City, and like I mentioned, maybe as far south as Dallas. You're going to be potentially on the very southern fringe of this risk. And then getting into Sunday, that system moves on to the east. St. Louis, like I've mentioned, you can get some severe weather on Saturday, moving into Illinois southward to parts of Kentucky and northwestern Tennessee, as well as northeastern Arkansas. And then we get reset, and we can see a chance of severe weather on Sunday from Lubbock to San Angelo. And then as we get into Monday, I know
Well, apparently the receiver pack doesn't want to work right. I'm gonna try to fix this again. Sorry, folks.
I think there's an issue actually with how the batteries are being fit, slash I think the other ones did die. Anyway, so we're almost done. This is Sunday, and then Monday this risk
Hey guys, make sure you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and we're also on TikTok. We're at HailTrace for all of those. Sorry about the battery pack messing up today. I'm going to try to troubleshoot this right after here. But yeah, you can call us at 855-334-4245, email us at info@hailtrace.com, or just go straight to www.hailtrace.com for more information about who we are and what we can do for you guys. You've been watching Meteorologist Heather K. Everybody have a great rest of your Wednesday.